I mean, that is the crossover that I've been wishing for a long time, and I hope to see someday, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know who's going to attempt it.
Yeah.
And eventually, why not? It sounds like a really awesome idea.
Thank you. Yeah. I had fun doing it.
That's pretty cool.
Right on. Well, unlike me, like yours, where you were, been looking forward to that for a long time, I've been looking forward to this for about 3 hours.
Nice.
Which is when I came up with the idea. So yeah, my mashup would be called Super Soldier Gaiden, which is Japanese for side story. And the two characters, and actually I'm not even going to give you the two characters yet. So the first intro scene would be John Walker. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He was U.S. agent,
yes,
Captain America for a while. Yeah. And it's a crime scene, and he's dead. And you see like 3 holes in his back, and one of his hands are missing. Okay?
Really?
Yes. So that's how it would all start out.
All right. And
then you find out that, and I haven't flushed out the story completely. Again, 3 hours, guys. Is that Winter Soldier comes to investigate the crime, and starts tracking like what's going on. Eventually finds out that Taskmaster's involved. This was more of an idea for a mashup, not only of the heroes, but of the villains as well. Because he finds out that he's working with another gentleman, and then what they're basically doing is going around taking out all the people who've ever had super soldier serum in them, or some version thereof. And you find out there's a shadowy organization that's basically hired him and this other guy named Slade Wilson, or Deathstroke. Right? To do this. So they're going around taking out all these like people with super soldier serums or infinity formulas, things like that.
Anything that turned them into it, like the power broker did the U.S. agent.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to derail if this is off topic, but I mean, would that be the Hulk as well? Because that was a form of the super soldier.
Yes, you're not wrong, but no.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we're not bringing the Hulk into this.
Yeah, I believe
things get completely crazy if you bring in the Hulk.
Yeah.
Well, and I believe that's in the Ultimate timeline, isn't it?
What?
Him having super soldier serum?
No, it's like the same basis of how he.
But that's regardless. It's been retconned back.
Yeah. It has.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
because in the original comic, it's only just the explosion,
the gamma radiation. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. But moving on,
the retcon back has been that he was working on super soldier when he was working with the gamma. Blah 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 blah.
I know that's in the Ultimates in the movies, but I'm not sure if that's in this.
No,
I've never. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah. So at any rate, at the same time that Winter Soldier's tracking this down, this is kind of how you find out that Deathstroke's involved. Nightwing is tracking down Deathstroke for similar things that are going on.
Right.
Metamorpho being one of the people. He was actually almost a super soldier style person.
You're going to kill Metamorpho?
I am. And I like Metamorpho, but I think it lends to the story. So basically, you find out this commander of this shadowy group is, has hired them because they're trying to make this ultimate soldier, like almost factory. They want to have like 1,000 super soldiers, but they want to do it right. They want to make it correct, and nobody's ever redone like Captain America's.
No one's ever been able to repeat that. Right.
So how they got Taskmaster involved. Taskmaster, if you guys aren't familiar, is like a badass villain. He's almost taken out all the Avengers by himself.
Yeah, but he's trained most of the. He trained a lot of people too.
He trained a lot of the bad guys. That was kind of how he was first introduced. I think it was like in Avengers 195, 196, something like that.
He also trained the U.S. agent.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Ant-Man and Hawkeye story.
There you go.
Yeah,
a hot guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at any rate, he has photographic reflexes. So when he sees somebody can perform a move, he can automatically do that move. Also from that, he gets almost a precognition of what they're going to do while he's fighting them.
Right.
Hence the reason he was able. And he's also taken out as Guardians, like killed as Guardians, because he's a badass. He can throw a shield and cut like Spider-Man's webbing.
Oh, wow.
Like he's badass.
Right.
And so anyways, the problem with that, he basically had used a super serum of his own. He was a SHIELD agent, and he used this super serum because he wanted to be the best. Well, it gave him that reflexes, that photographic reflexes. But what problem with that is that he automatically remembers those things. He loses his memory of his actual life as he goes through.
Right.
So his wife, who is actually he calls her the Org a lot. I can't remember her name offhand, but she always has to come back and like give him his memories back. She's found like this really, it's really rigid long way of getting his memories back to him. So she at least like remembers that he's married, and things like that. So Slade Wilson's there because there was a lot of money involved. One, but the biggest kicker was they offered him Nightwing. And that's like something that he's been wanting for a long time.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, Winter Soldier, Nightwing, you track him down. And
what city would you set this in? Would it be in New York?
Would it be across Bloodhaven and then?
Yeah, I think it would be in both, and then like somewhere completely different, and maybe another. And actually, when I originally thought of this, I wanted it to be in Japan,
Baltimore.
and it was going to be. Well, and no, not in Baltimore.
Well,
But so my original thought for this is that it would be in Japan, and the Black, I think it's called the Black Circle
IPs?
Society, which was used in what was the pre-DC comic? Not Charlton, but one of the other ones. That's where that started. I was going to use that piece, but then I got this brilliant idea because as the crux of all this comes down, you find out that these people didn't just want them to go kill all these people and do this; they wanted them too. So the promise to Taskmaster, and I digress because I jumped off that,
right.
was that so Slade Wilson uses 90% of his brain. That's his deal, right? That's like one of his superpowers that he got or whatever from the super serum stuff that he took. So they said that, well, while he's here, we're going to do some medical things to get you your memory back full time. So that was really what got him, hooked in being there. So basically at this point, They've killed like 4 or 5 different super soldiers, and then this organization turns on them, and that's when, like, it's basically Winter Soldier, Nightwing, Deathstroke, and Taskmaster fighting their way out of this, and the only people that get away at the very end is the commander and some dude with a metal head.
Who?
Cobra!
I was like, what?
Damn.
So that's the story that I came up with 3 hours ago.
Dang.
Hey, that's amazing for 3 hours.
For 3 hours ago, Jesus! Like
But you've always been amazing.
So
at writing.
to be fair, I did like 4 iterations of this. Like I had such deep cut characters. I had like American Eagle in one.
In 3
I
hours.
had Joker and Madcap. Madcap's one of my favorite villains.
you were telling me about that. That
And
sounded
if you're
pretty
not
cool.
familiar with Madcap, he is amazing. Any guy that wears like a big pompadour hat and a feather and uses a bubble gun that's just a bubble gun.
Really?
But he has regeneration better than Wolverine.
Oh, wow.
He can't die, basically. And
He's like
he
Deadpool.
can cause hallucinations in other people.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, he's like,
He
I
doesn't
want
need-
those powers.
So-
That's cool.
I'm going to make you hallucinate for $20, and then I'm going to jump in front of this train to get to work.
So I'm thinking back at this. You bringing in Cobra to it.
Yeah.
Is Cobra wanting to
Create these super soldiers.
That-
That's the whole idea.
It's
Yeah.
like the more Crimson Guard.
Absolutely.
Instead of the Crimson Guard, the more Crimson Guard.
the more Crimsoner guard.
More Crimsoner Guard.
So are they at the end? Are they fighting these super soldiers, like naked super soldiers in this
No,
warehouse or something?
I don't think so.
Naked.
That's what I envision them coming out
I mean,
naked,
Like
and-
tubes and shit.
Yeah,
I
out
mean,
of
you
tubes.
could have it where they take it that far, but I think for them to complete what they're wanting to complete, they needed those two as well because those
Right.
are the best super soldiers that are available. Minus like Captain America, you're not going to get him.
No.
Well, that would be
He's
the
Captain
sequel.
America.
That's the
That's why it's
sequel.
called Guy. So this is what I was originally going to call this was Kick Gaiden. So sidekick story.
Oh, okay.
And there has been a story way, way, way back in the day. Bucky and Robin did not interact, as far as I know, in that story, but they were traded places, basically.
Yeah.
Bucky was with Batman, and Robin was with Captain America.
Wow.
All
And
the
some
rumors
crossover.
were said allegedly.
Wait, do you
Allegedly.
remember? Do you know when that was?
I have no idea. I didn't find that out until like 2 hours after I came up with the story, and I was
Wow.
like, "Oh, there was something one
No,
time."
I
this
have
day.
this.
but it was different. you
Yeah,
know?
it's totally.
Yeah, I have a graphic novel that has that story in it. It's set in the 40s, of course,
Okay.
and Captain America's on leave, and somehow it's weird, like because they always shipped him everywhere back
Right.
in the day.
On his desk,
Yeah.
there's just the thing that says "Gone Fishing."
Yeah,
But I would totally
Captain
have.
America gone fishing.
I would totally have the obligatory Nightwing Winter Soldier fight
Oh,
because
for
it
sure.
would be awesome.
Yeah.
Would you see this as a comic book?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And maybe you could do an animated movie. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like the tones of yours, I want to see painted. That's 100% in my mind. That's like something I would like collect and want.
Yeah.
Like this is something like this is fan favor.
Yeah.
This is like
It could be an animated movie. It could be
but it could be done well.
Yeah.
At the
It could
same
be,
time.
Yeah. And even if you did it a comic first,
It could be a comic,
like
for
a
sure.
4 to 6 issue series,
for sure, 6
and
issues.
then really just animate it, and then take the best parts out and put it in the animated one for an hour and a half.
Well, the thing I wanted to drive home was the beginning scene to be so real and graphic and capturing that by the time that you bring Cobra into this, like that's kind of real and part of it. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not like the 80s cartoon.
Yeah. No. It's such a that's such a like. Whenever you said a silver, it was like, holy shit, goddamn, that is fucking.
But
a great
you don't know
idea.
that until the end.
Yeah,
Right.
You never find that shit
That
out.
is a great fucking idea.
Get spoiled, you.
Oh fuck!
in the comic, I can see a panel where all 4 of them are going into like an airplane hangar or something to fight all these super soldiers, and then the doors shut, and then like you can see shit happening in the windows above, but then when they open, it's just like Cobra Commander standing there. You know what I mean? And like, and he's got like a drop of blood like on him or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it gets further away and zooms out, if you will.
I actually came up with
Batman and Captain America.
a whole scene of Deathstroke fighting Storm Shadow. Which I thought would be badass.
That would be pretty badass.
That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
But he's dead now. Well, I mean, you could put Storm Shadow in there.
Yeah.
I don't think that continuity is going to kick over so many times. Who cares?
Well,
No, I'm just saying in your story, Deathstroke would be dead. But
No.
not if it happened before. I get it.
Yeah, I don't think at any point that Deathstroke dies. I think him and Taskmaster.
Oh, they don't die?
The 4 of them fight their way out.
Oh,
I mean, they could. Who knows? I mean, it's a story I made up 3 hours ago.
I would say they all die at the end.
that would be
Nightwing
pretty
and Winter
crazy.
Soldier too.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
even he's
Okay.
just a human.
Nightwing.
Nightwing's
Yeah,
just a
no,
human.
they weren't there for. Yeah, that's not why he was there. He was there to stop Deathstroke, who's killing these people, and they kind of lured him there because they promised him to Deathstroke.
Yeah, I get it's all like a
Yeah.
conspiracy. I get it.
Yeah,
But in the end, don't all 4 of them team up
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
to fight? Like in my head, I'm thinking they're all fighting Cobra Commander.
And they could fight like earlier iterations of their final form of what they're doing. Obviously they've probably been working on this for a minute.
Ooh,
Right.
but I can see, like you were saying, like the warehouse open and
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
in
all-
this secret underground warehouse, they got naked clones that they're trying to get there. But this is like the Mark One, so they're
Right.
basically just fodder.
Yeah, exactly. And then Cobra Commander comes walking through the after all the heroes leave. Even if they leave,
Oh,
or
I was
even if they
thinking-
live, they could be gone, and then you just see the last couple panels of
You
him
could,
walking
yeah.
through the whole place.
For sure.
Like that was Mark One. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
He already knew that.
He's like, now I have their DNA, so now I can make like Mark II.
So
Right, yeah.
he would even have their DNA. Like that would be the crux of it, is that he ended up with their DNA regardless.
right. So it doesn't.
And Bonus got Winter Soldiers
yeah,
because he's also a super soldier.
yeah, and
So-
he has a weird formula of it
Right.
in him. Yeah,
So, and then now they could make whatever they consider their final form. And like he's got like a little iPad and he pulls it up. It's got Captain America's on it.
yeah, yeah.
So that's who he's
Yeah.
going
And
for
Nick
next.
Fury.
Oh
Who has
yeah,
the
Yeah, he
Infinity
has
formula.
the Infinity Formula. Yeah.
So
yeah.
You could just that's where
That's
you go
the
with
next
it.
level. Is they're going
Yeah.
after those guys.
Bam.
And you can't call that one guy dead because
and
that's-
Batman.
Boom.
Yeah.
And then who else would he? It'd be like Batman, Captain America, Nick Fury, and like.
There's quite a few other people. There's I think his name's the Patriot or something like that.
Yeah.
He's the African American.
The younger one?
Yeah,
Like
well,
the Young
the-
Avengers one?
when they did basically that story is kind of cool.
The
When in the
Children's Crusade, Young
Yeah,
Avengers?
Well,
right?
before that,
Okay.
like the story of how he got his powers. His grandfather basically got the super soldier during the Tuskegee
Oh.
Yes.
experiments.
Yeah, I remember them.
And
Yeah.
he basically pulled together like the Captain America, or pulled on a Captain America outfit to fight some
Yep.
people off, and
No.
became like an urban legend.
Right.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that one. I think I actually.
So you could have
that one.
him. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there.
Well, I was trying to think of another.
Poster
Side.
Man.
Another
DC's
DC.
hard. That's where I really had a hard time coming up with people.
Well, someone akin to Nick Fury. Like
Well,
like if Batman,
Amanda
Captain
Waller?
America, Nick Fury,
Amanda Waller,
maybe.
who fought with Deathstroke back in the day.
There
She
you
was
go.
part of his unit.
I don't know if you guys remember this storyline in Captain America, but there was a villain called Protocide. So he was like the very first super soldier